I'm ready to share my one little word for 2025.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan.
Hello, Planet Babes. Welcome back to Jasmine Plans. This is Jasmine. Thank you for clicking on this video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my one little word for 2025. If you saw my War Binder Faith Setup video, you saw that I mentioned I wanted to do something a little differently with my word of the year. So I'm going to show you guys what I did for my word of the year, and then we're going to plan one for my catch-all planner. So the moment you all have been waiting for, my word of the year is discipline. I need it badly. I put this inside of my faith planner, and what I decided to do was look up prayers that had to do with discipline. So I have a few here. I have Proverbs 16:32, Hebrews 12:11, Proverbs 25:28, Proverbs 5:23, as well as the 2 Timothy 1:7. And then I included little words around here that just stuck out to me in terms of having discipline. One was control, that came up a lot in different scriptures, as well as the definition of discipline. Train also came up, and power was a word I felt like I needed to have in order to show discipline in different areas of my life for 2025. So discipline is a noun, and it is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. And when I think of punishment, I'm not thinking of harm. But I am thinking of the fact that there are consequences for every little action, whether it's positive or negative. Discipline is also a verb. As a teacher, I love to let people know that many words in English have more than one definition. Another meaning for discipline is the act of discipline. So it's to train someone to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. I needed a lot in order to get my budget correct, in order to be good with my routines, in order to be good with some goals that I have in terms of business and social media goals that I have. So I want to create another page for my catch-all planner, and that's what we're going to be doing now. To create my one little word page, I am going to be using these neutral boxes and florals by Colorful Plan, but only the florals. And I'm also going to be using black shapes from Mojo Jojo Plans. I also got my alphabet stickers from Planning Things Fun Alphabet. I took those letters that I'm going to need out already in order to save time. So I just have them here right on my ruler. And for anyone who is just a little curious about where I got that ruler from, it is from one of my cloth and paper subscription boxes. So I did already start using these florals in this book. So I want to go ahead and continue to use it. And I'm going to just start by just sticking down florals anywhere on the page. And then we're going to be working around it. I like when florals can pop up behind my functional boxes as well as in front. I want to use this, but I don't want to use the entire thing. So I'm just going to be cutting off a piece of this just so we can lay it close to the edge. I don't want it to go directly into the spine. Neither do I want it to stick on my page yet. So I'm going to stick this piece right down here. Did you all come up with your word of the year? Do you typically come up with the word of the year? I decided on a word of the year instead of just straight up having a New Year's resolution. To me, I felt like a word of the year was just a better, I guess, guiding principle kind of thing for me. Right. So I want to also put down some shapes. So I want to put down some shapes first, and then I'm going to put down my word discipline. I wanted to get better about using shapes. Sometimes I feel like they definitely add a little bit of extra character to your spreads. So I want to use it in this one. So I'm thinking here to go with 2 back to back. Almost perfect, but not quite. And then 1 with lines. I love when I see spreads with shapes. So I hope this is a really good fit. It's a little teeny off, but it's okay. And then I want to throw down my word discipline. So should I throw it just right in here? Now I feel like I need my wax paper. I don't want it to hang off. We'll just put discipline in the middle of the page. Straight as possible. The ruler tends to help with that. Part of me felt like I went down a bit crooked. But even if I did, just a matter of having the page done. And one of my letters just didn't go down too straight, so I just want to fix that. I like how that looks so far. And then I also want to have boxes on the bottom as well. So I'm going to use one with lines, and then the other ones I will not. And I also want these to kind of stagger on the page differently. So this one will go just a tad bit higher, right over here. Move over slightly. It's not quite what I was expecting to do. But I like the way it's turning out. And this one is going to get cut. I'll make sure it's the box where I'm writing the least in. And that's going to be okay. Now I want to add in just a couple more floral pieces here to fill that in. And we'll also discuss what we are going to use a sheet for in my catch-all. So I thought about areas of my life where I felt as if I need discipline to show up in, or where I really want to have some more discipline. And one of those areas of my life first is in my faith, which is why I started with the word discipline in my faith planner. I want to see it in terms of making sure that I am in my faith planner. I am praying consistently. I am showing gratitude to God. I also want to have this show up for myself in my budget. I really need to be extra disciplined this year. I don't want to dig a farther hole than what I'm already in. So I have to be disciplined with making sure that I create my budget every single month as well as stick to that budget. And I'm not going to be including the definition of discipline in this planner because I already have it written down inside of my faith planner. I want to see discipline as well show up in my routines. So I feel as if this time I really need to look at the routines I have. You know, daily, like your AM routine, your PM routine. I'm going to do this a little bit funny here. So I'm going to be listing out those routines and like really giving myself a schedule. I find that for me, just knowing myself being a teacher, I have a much easier time in the classroom because my students are like, they're used to a system. They're used to a routine. My classroom can honestly function on like autopilot, whether I'm there or not, which is why I think when I am out of work from the very beginning, like teachers did not have a hard time covering my class because my students know where things are. What do we do? When you come in the morning, this is the routine that never changes for them. So I need to have that with myself at home instead of just being that spontaneous spur of the moment person that I tend to be at home. I just really need a lot more, I just really need a lot more structure in my life right now. I also want to be more disciplined in terms of my health. So I want to make sure I'm definitely taking care of myself, because obviously maybe I should not have done that. Let's see if I can get away with putting a sticker up. Nope, I could not. So I want to be more disciplined in terms of drinking more water, you know, going out for walks. And I want to be able to move my body when I get older. And I want to make sure that I get older without needing to rely on medicine. I want to avoid medicine at all costs, because the price of health can get really expensive as you get older if you're trying to go the medicine route. And who knows, with our healthcare system, nobody's really covering much. If you want really good care, you gotta be able to pay for it yourself. I think another area I haven't mentioned yet was I also want to be more disciplined in just being a parent. My son is getting to those years where I feel as if I definitely have to be on top of him in terms of discipline, because if he doesn't learn it now, I don't need the streets or the world that we live in disciplining him later on, when there was things that I could have avoided in teaching him as a kid. I am a believer that your child is showing you who they are now, and the things that they're doing now will definitely transfer into being an adult. I didn't intend for the flower to take up that much of the box, but it happened, and I'm gonna go ahead and just deal with it. I kind of like that peekaboo feel that the flowers are giving. And lastly, I really want to be disciplined in just owning a business. I kind of feel as if I grew up in the wrong era, where it was kind of like, go to school, take out all these loans, they say, and you will be fine and stable as an adult. And, you know, you paid all this money for college, and being a teacher is definitely not paying. And I think the only stability you can have is just based off of what you are bringing in. So I hope you guys enjoyed creating this one little word spread with me. My florals that I use for this spread are from Caliber Plan Neutral Boxes and Florals, as well as black shapes from Mojo Jojo Plans. Let me know if you are creating your own one little word. And until next time, happy planning. Bye.